Master horse racing with daily racing forms Formulator, now free for DRF Bets members. Sign up to get the best bonus in racing with a $250 deposit match, plus a $10 free bet and free Formulator past performances. Go to drf.com/bet to play like a pro today.
Derick Giwner back with Matt Rose to discuss Harrah's Philadelphia for Sunday, May the 28th. There is a 15-race card, lots of stakes action throughout the card. There's Sire Stakes, Pennsylvania Sire Stakes, I think 3 divisions for the top level and then 5 divisions for the second level. And of course, we have $300,000 invitationals and a $40,000 send it in invite. And that comprises a $10,000 guaranteed pick 4, which we're going to discuss today. And we're going to get right into it. Race number 10, the action starts. And we have a field of 8 here, which on the morning line is led by Southwind Gendry. And I think he'll probably be the favorite in this spot, Matt.
Yeah, I think the morning line is reasonably close here. Southwind Gendry and the classy tattoo artist seem like the 2 horses. Rocking with Elvis, a third choice from the rail spot. Maybe it's something to prove class-wise, but he's been on a huge roll at Yonkers. But yeah, this is a nice $40,000 invite, a nice strong open horses. I love the name, the Send It In Invitational. I like that it's being used in multiple venues now, not just Scioto. So we're at Harrah's Philly now with the Send It In Invitational, and I'm going to gravitate towards the 2 favorites here, Tattoo Artist and Southwind Gendry, and I think I'm just going to limit it to those 2 horses. If you have another opinion somewhere or somewhere else to go with a price, by all means, chime in.
Yeah, I really don't. I mean, of the 2, I kind of lean towards Tattoo Artist a little bit more. He's not a horse that I've been on his bandwagon at all, but I feel like I watched the qualifier last time, and it was a really sharp effort. You know, we finished second behind a bucket at Hanover. He had Lasix added there. Maybe Lasix was, maybe Lasix is the magic potion that's going to wake this horse back up, because we all know how fast he is and how quick he can go. And I'm just hoping that he's going to be ready to go off the 5-week layoff. And I agree with you. I don't see much else in here. And so we're going to move on to race number 11, the Betsy Ross, $100,000 on the line. This is a mare's invitational. And the one thing that strikes me here, the second I looked at this race, was, wow, there's a lot of early speed in this race.
Yeah, I mean, and also the other thing that it's pretty obvious is, a lot of these names are recognizable for people that followed the Blue Chip Matchmaker for 6 weeks over at Yonkers. You had Doug's Babe, Racine Bell, Amazing Dream, Drama Acts, all coming out of that. And we have a couple of twists with some 4-year-olds that make the race interesting. This is Racine Bell is a lukewarm morning line favorite. I can't argue with that, I guess, but I'm also not in love with her here. And much like many of the matchmaker divisions where Yonkers, this is a pretty wide open affair.
Yeah, I kind of lean towards Racine Bell as my top pick here, but it's definitely a lukewarm top pick. I like the fact that while she is known as more of a speed horse, she's been able to rate from just off the pace. She shows a couple of wins at Yonkers where she was sitting 4th at the top of the stretch and was able to get the job done. And I think that might come in handy in a spot like this. I think Doug's Babe is interesting. Looked really good in the Blue Chip Matchmaker series early on, and then not as good as the last couple of starts, but then added Lasix last time, perked right up. So that intrigued me. Amazing Dream wasn't great last time, but had missed 25 days. That intrigued me. And you know what? I'm somewhat. I don't know how Nikki Hill is going to get into this race, but I like the 7-1 morning line. I like the fact that she's going to be a price, and I think she's certainly as fast as any of these horses. And so that's another one I threw on my ticket. So I have 1, 2, 4, 8. What do you have, Matt?
Well, yeah, I narrowed it down significantly. And your thought on Nikki Hill, I think we're going to hear, we're going to see lots of big things from her. But I'm not in love with this spot. I think she'll not only will she need the race, but it's just a tough spot to really get involved with much more seasoned horses. I narrowed it down to 2 horses, the 1, Doug's Babe, and the 4, Amazing Dream. Doug's Babe, like you mentioned, recently added Lasix, and this recent import, she showed a ton of potential over Yonkers in the Matchmaker series, and finished an okay third in the final in a strange race where really they Amazing Dream kind of walked on the front end. But I'm going to end up using those two, Doug's Babe and Amazing Dream. I kind of see this as Amazing Dream has to be forwardly placed, and Dave Miller with Doug's Babe has options. Sit back, come first up, maybe tries to quarter move and control the action. That wouldn't shock me. But yeah, in a race where you could go multiple ways, I am just going to narrow it down to two of them, the 1 and the 4, and maybe lean towards Doug's Babe, just because she'll probably be a slightly better price.
Okay, we'll move on to race number 12, the $100,000 Max Healy Memorial. This is an invite for the older trotters, and this race, in my opinion, comes down to Hill Exotic. You know, if he throws the best race he could throw, I think these others are going to be in trouble, because that effort he's coming off of last week was, I know he only finished 4th, but it was a really good mile where he made 2 moves, and you know, I think this is a soft invite for the most part for 100,000.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you know, we're not really sure how the aged trotters, you know, division is going to take shape this year. But right at this point, it kind of seems wide open for somebody to like grab the reins and take control of this division. And right now, like you said, the Hill Exotic seems to be the one. Definitely the most consistent, versatile, well-mannered, perfect mid-pack post, and deserving to be the favorite. And I'm going to end up keying him only because I think someone else would just have to step up to beat Hill Exotic. And you know, nothing else. None of the other 7 horses here, you know, excite me. You know, anyhow. So I got to just suck it up and key the chalk here. I just think Hill Exotic is better than these at this moment in time, and you just got to go with it.
I can't fault you for doing that. There's a couple of times this horse got nipped at the wire, and that made me want to have another horse on there. And I thought that Amigo Volo, who's a horse that I don't usually love, you know, against the best in the country, and this is, like I said, maybe the second level, and I thought he could probably leave around Take All Comers and sit a good trip behind Hill Exotic here, and maybe just trip out and get a little lucky. We saw he got a little sharp there at the end of last year and win some good miles, and you know, so far this year he's been okay, you know, maybe getting better as he gets starts. This is only his 4th start of the year. $100 bill is not on my ticket, but this is a horse that we've seen step up, though I haven't seen much of him lately. You know, maybe he could get a little bit better. Parpadelli actually, you know, won a pretty big mile here, 52-2, and it was off almost 4 weeks. And according to trainer Jen Bongiorno, she told me the horse scoped sick afterwards. So if that's a scope sick mile, you know, maybe this one is ready as a 4-year-old to step up in class. And how about Love by the Masses? He won this race last year. I mean,
yeah, I mean that I think he along with Hill Exotic. You mentioned earlier how this is like you have the top tier and kind of like the second level of top trotters, and this is more of like a second level race. But Love by the Masses is probably, and Hill Exotic are the closest to maybe the fringe top players. But you know, we haven't really seen anything from you know, Love by the Masses so far this season to make you want to really jump on board. So unless he turns around a big way, I mean, you're going to get a big price or a decent price. He will take some money with Tim Tetrick and, you know, with the back class. But, you know, like you said, as you were kind of talking about the other horses this race and you paused and went, it's kind of like my same opinion. I couldn't figure out which one of any of these other horses, you know, could step up or are ready to step up. So, you're using Amigo Volo as maybe the other horse, but I couldn't come up with another horse. So I'm going to key Hill Exotic and be alive with the chalk and move on to the last leg.
Which is the $100,000 Joseph Auger Memorial. another invitational, and this is a pretty strong field with a lot of sharp horses, Matt.
Oh yeah, and much like I mentioned with the familiarity with the blue chip matchmaker horses, we have a bunch of Borgata horses here that we saw. Hullabaloo, who blew up the board in the Borgata final. Lochinvar Arts. Hemsworth made a couple of starts. None better. Speedy veteran. He raced in, I believe, all 5 legs of the Borgata and in the Constellation. So, again, there's a lot of familiarity here, but it is interesting because we have Ruthless Hanover, who's kind of like the local horse who's just razor sharp, and Mad Max Hanover, a 4-year-old that could have plenty to offer, starting now and and throughout the season. So this is a solid, interesting event that there's no heavy favorite here, and you can make a case for 5 or 6 of them.
I ended up going 3 deep on my ticket. My top pick would be Lochinvar Art. I just feel like while he's sort of tailed off in the Borgata series a little towards the end, he's really picked up his game in in May, and he's been a really nice battler. I feel like he goes out there and he gives his all and tries hard and really battle any horse to the wire. I used Ruthless Hanover, the 4 on my ticket. This horse obviously is really sharp. He's thrown multiple 47 miles in his career. When he's right, they're all chasing him basically. And finally, Mad Max Hanover, who put it, won a race that he was supposed to win. It was his first start of the year. He went in 49, which is a pretty nice mile for his first start of the year. If he has more in the tank, he's going to be a nice price here. He went 47 and change last year as a 3-year-old. Certainly he can compete here. As you see up on the screen, it's a $24 ticket.
Yeah, I ended up going 4 deep in this race. I did not use Mad Max Hanover. I used the 2, 3, 4, and 6 Hullabaloo, the Borgata winner. Lochinvar, like you mentioned, disappointed in a couple of Borgata legs. We thought, he was going to be the next big superstar, and then had no chance in the final, but raced well to get a check. And then, very game in defeat. Obviously, Lauren Tritton knows how to handle this one, and if she can get a clean trip, more than capable. Ruthless Hanover's probably the speed in here. And if there's maybe a live cover flow, or the front end goes too fast, they start to, come back to the field. Hemsworth should be an okay price. See him. He raced well in the Borgata. He won a leg of the Borgata, sit in the pocket. I don't think he'll be anywhere near the pocket in this race, but he could be an off the pace threat, and he will be a price. So since my ticket is a budget ticket for only $8.50, I figure I can go 4 deep, and I threw in Hemsworth as my 4th horse. So yeah, for 50-cent play, $8. So obviously this is something that I'll be playing multiple times, and it's still going to be reasonably cheap.
Well, it's a really strong card at Harrah's Philadelphia on Sunday. 15 races, as we've discussed, with the Sire Stakes and these invites. I'll have my full card analysis up on drf.com/harness if you want to check that out. 12:40 post time. Good luck.